Hi, welcome to this 30-minute slow flow. So this class is perfect if you are wanting to unwind, release tension. It's going to be nice and slow, nice deep stretches, deep breathing. You can either do it just before you go to bed, or if you just want to have that little reset before you get on with your day. So I hope you enjoy. So we're going to be starting in a seated position today, cross-legged, if that's okay for your hips. If not, you can either let your legs go out long or maybe in a kneeling position. Just getting yourself nice and comfortable. You can even sit on a cushion if you have one handy. And then as we're here, just close your eyes. Always just gently rock side to side, just feeling yourself finding that center point in your sit bones, feeling the crown of the head reaching up and then coming to that still position. Have a slight tuck of the chin to lengthen out the neck. And then making sure that we're not rounding in our back, but we're rolling the shoulders back. Nice long spine. Eyes are closed. Just enjoying this bit of stillness at the beginning of class. As you inhale, you're breathing in this fresh air. And as you exhale, you're letting go of the day, what's happened before. And again, inhaling. And exhaling, release. And then again, big breath in through the nose. You can even hold it at the top, filling the lungs up. And then open the mouth, exhale it out, release everything out. Starting to notice the body. You can check in with yourself, noticing how you're feeling. If you're tired or got loads of energy, ready for the weekend. You don't have to do anything, just noticing how you're feeling. And then keeping the mouth closed, just keep that breath coming in and out through the nose. Let the breath go all the way down into the belly. And then slowly exhale out through the nose. And again, inhaling. And exhaling. This time as you inhale, you can keep the eyes closed or open them. We're going to inhale, lift the arms up overhead, bringing the palms together. And then as we exhale, just taking the right hand down towards that right hand side, planting it down, reach the left arm all the way up and over. Find that side body stretch. Inhale, come back up through center, palms touch overhead. Exhale, take the left hand over towards the left, palm plants down on the mat, reaching over. Again, those eyes can be closed, just focusing on the movement. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, right hand down. Reaching, find more stretch in those side body. Inhale, back through center, lifting. Exhale, left hand down, right arm reaches over. One more time each side, finding a little bit more reach each time we do it. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, reaching over towards the right. Inhale, lifting back up. Exhale, reaching over towards the left, big stretch. And then inhale, lifting up through center, palms together. And with the eyes closed, exhale, bring the palms out the chest, elbows out wide, finding that namaste hands. From here, we can gently open the eyes. Nice soft focus. Place the hands on top of the knees, finding this cat-cow. Finding a little bit of space in that spine. We inhale, start to rock that chest forwards, lifting the chin, drawing those shoulders back. You can pull your hands against your knees. And then exhale, we round the spine, tuck the chin. Really feel that back opening up. Moving with the breath, we inhale, rock forwards, lift the chin. Exhale, rounding the spine. And again, inhaling forwards, draw those shoulders back. Exhale, round the back, find more space between the shoulder blades. Couple more here, you can go a little quicker if that's more comfortable for you. Finding a little bit of space and mobility in that spine. And then the next time we pass through center, we can stop. And we're going to roll over the shins, plant the hands out in front and find ourselves in our tabletop position. Knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, rocking forwards and backwards. Inhale as we come forwards, exhale as we take it back. You can take it nice and slow, really reach those shoulders forwards and then really take them back. So big rocks. And then slowly coming back to that neutral tabletop position. Once again, just finding a couple of cat-cows here as we inhale, drop the belly down, lift the chest. Feeling like those shoulder blades squeezing together, lift the chin. Exhale to then round the spine, tucking the chin, press those hands down into the mat. Couple more, inhaling. And exhaling. One more time, inhale. Scoop the belly down, lift the chin. Exhale to round the spine. Coming back to that flat back. From here, take that right foot and we're going to turn it 90 degrees off the side of the mat, up towards the right. And then rolling the body open towards the left, we plant that left hand just behind. See if we can plant that foot down so the edge of the foot is planted down into the mat. We inhale, lift the left arm up and overhead, palm facing down. Feeling like we're lifting those hips up, rolling that shoulder back. And then from here, looking towards that left hand, we're going to just take some big circles here so it's drawing down towards the mat, and as we inhale it lifts back up. So just big circles, finding space in the shoulders. Inhale as it comes up, exhale as it comes down. Inhaling. Next time it comes down, we're going to plant it back underneath the shoulder, coming back through our tabletop position, and then we'll go through the other side. So take that left foot, out towards the left hand side. Roll the body open towards the right, plant that right foot down. We then inhale, sweep that right arm all the way up and over, palm facing down. First find that stretch, lifting through those hips, roll that shoulder back. And then from here, finding some space in that shoulder, we let that hand come all the way down towards the mat, and then inhaling as it rolls back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, rolling down. See how big you can take these circles, really finding space in every inch of the body as we do so. Inhaling as it comes up. Exhale as it reaches down. Next time that hand comes back down, we plant it back underneath the shoulder, find ourselves in our tabletop position. Plant those hands down, tuck the toes underneath, press through the hands and the feet, lift the knees, lift the hips, find our first downward dog. Maybe of the day, bend nice and deep into the legs, lift those hip bones nice and high, press those hands down into the mat, lengthen out that spine. Give your head a little bit of a shake, release the neck. Then starting to draw one heel down at a time, stretching out through the backs of the legs. Really coming through into the toes, so stretching out through the toes. Inhaling and exhaling. And then when you're ready, planting those feet back down. Feel like you're drawing those heels down towards the mat. We then inhale, rock forwards, find our high plank position. Exhale, we take a chaturanga, nice and slowly, lower the knees down for this first one. Core nice and strong, take the elbows back halfway. Then all the way down onto the belly, untucking the toes. From here, bringing our fingertips to the outsides of the mat. So you come onto your fingertips, so you're tensing up onto your hands. We then inhale, use that lower back, lift the chest, draw those shoulders down the spine, tops of the feet pressing down into the mat, we lift the chin. Exhale, bowing back down, chin towards the mat, elbows out wide. Inhale, we lift back up. Exhale, bow back down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, bowing down. We then release the hands, planting them underneath the shoulders, tucking the toes underneath, press through the hands and the knees through tabletop, and then take the hips back up, downward facing dog. From here, we're going to inhale, rock forwards, high plank once again. This time as we take a chaturanga halfway down, you can use your knees or keep them lifted. And then we flip onto the tops of the feet, straighten the arms, find upward facing dog. So checking in with your upward facing dog, making sure that your hips and your thighs aren't touching the mat, they're actively lifting off the mat. And then exhale, squeeze the core, lift the hips up and back. Find that downward facing dog once again. Once we're there, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale to step that foot through as close as we can between those hands. It may stop halfway. We can drop that back knee down, step that foot all the way up towards the top of the mat. First, keeping that back knee lowered down towards the mat, just gently starting to rock forwards and backwards. You can even start to straighten that front leg, feeling a little bit of a stretch through the back of the leg, through the hamstrings. And then from here, we stay forwards, that knee nice and bent. Tuck the back toes. We lift that back knee up, drawing that back heel behind you. Find this low lunge. Inhale, sink those hips down. This time as we exhale, we start to straighten that front leg, shifting that weight back, finding our pyramid pose, folding over that straight leg, trying to get that nose past the knee. If you want a little bit extra, you can flex that front foot to lift those toes, feeling more of the stretch through the hamstrings and the calf. Inhaling here. And exhale, deepening into the stretch. And then planting that foot back down. Plant the hands, step straight back to our downward dog. Walk through the feet. Maybe noticing a difference from one leg to the other. And going through the other side, we inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, stepping that foot through, dropping the back knee down to start with. Again, you can shimmy that front foot forwards. And then once we're there, we're just going to rock forwards and backwards, nice and gently. Straightening the leg a little bit. It may not straighten too much, that's okay. And then when you're ready, next time we come forwards, we start to lift that back knee up, finding this low lunge, sinking those hips down. Inhale here. As we exhale, we straighten the front leg, folding over into our pyramid pose. Trying to get that nose towards the knee. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And if you want a little bit extra, you can flex the front foot, lifting up those toes. Inhale here. And exhale, deepening into the stretch. Inhale. And exhale. And then planting that foot back down. We can plant those hands and step straight back to our downward dog. Once again, walking through the feet. And then taking your time, we'll walk the feet all the way up towards the top of the mat. Nice and slowly. Feet can be hip distance apart. A little micro bend in the legs as we just let that body hang over the legs. Let the head be heavy, the neck released, arms heavy, swaying side to side. Like a rag doll, nice and heavy and loose. And then in your own time, we're going to roll up to standing, rolling through each vertebrae of the spine, coming all the way up to standing. Feeling strong. Feeling tall, we roll the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back, Arms by the sides, palms facing forward so you're open. Inhale through the nose, fill the body up. Open the mouth, exhale it out. Bring the feet together, toes touch, heels just slightly apart. We inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, palms touched. Reaching those fingers up towards the ceiling. We then exhale, forward fold down towards the mat. Inhaling, find a halfway lift, flat back. As we exhale, we plant the hands, step the right leg back only, big long step. Keep that back knee lifted as we sink those hips down, lift the chest, inhale. As we exhale, we straighten that front leg once again, finding that pyramid pose, folding down, staying here, or if you want, you can keep that right hand planted under the shoulder. As we inhale, lift the left arm up, finding this twist. You may find a little bit of a deeper stretch in that outer hip. If you do have yoga blocks, you can place your hand on a yoga block. That's just creating more of an extension of the arm towards the ground. Looking back down towards the mat, plant the hand, bend into that front leg. Stepping back through a vinyasa, finding your high plank, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, lower your knees if you want to the belly for cobra or upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back. And then exhale, take the hips up and back, finding downward facing dog. From there, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale to step that foot as close as we can between those hands. We then plant those hands, reach them out in front, and take a big step up to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Toes together. Inhale, find a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhaling, rolling up to standing. Bring the arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, bring the palms at the chest, elbows out wide. Other side, we inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, taking the left foot back this time, big long step. Keeping that back knee lifted as we sink those hips down. Find that low lunge, lift the chest if we can. If we're using yoga blocks, you can place those hands on the blocks. And then as we exhale, we straighten that front leg, find that pyramid pose, folding over that straight leg. Again, you can stay here if this is just enough. If you want to find that twist, you can keep that left hand underneath the shoulder as we inhale, reach the right arm up. Opening the chest towards the right, drawing that right hip back. Inhaling here. As we exhale, look down towards the mat, plant the hands, stepping straight back to our vinyasa. So finding high plank, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, halfway down to the belly for cobra or finding upward facing dog. Lift the chest. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Finishing this round off, we inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale to step that foot through as close as we can between those hands, finding this low lunge. And then plant those hands out in front, big step up to the top of the mat, toes together. We then inhale, find a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhaling, rolling up to standing, arms come up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, bring the palms up the chest, elbows out wide. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. This time as we exhale, step both feet back to our high plank position, strong core. Exhale, halfway down, chaturanga. To the belly for cobra or finding upward facing dog, your choice. Mix it up if you want to. Exhale, downward facing dog. Once everyone's in downward dog, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. And then exhale, bend the knee and open up that hip. You've got that hip is nice and open, so that right hip is stacking on top of the left hip. The knee pointing up towards the ceiling or as high as we can get it. Inhaling here. As we exhale, we're then going to bring that foot all the way through. And then flex the foot, try to take it over towards that left-hand side. We're going to find our pigeon pose here. So placing that shin down behind those wrists at any angle. Either the knee can be pointing more up towards the top of the mat, or maybe it's more towards the side and you're finding this parallel place with the shin, that's deeper hip stretch. But wherever we are, we want to have that foot nice and flexed. It's going to protect that knee joint. And then we lower that back knee down and untuck the toes. From here, coming on to our fingertips. Once again, like we found in our cobra at the beginning of class, we inhale, lift the chest up, breathe into this stretch. As we exhale, we're going to forward fold, bowing down, chin towards the mat, elbows out wide. Inhale, we lift back up. Exhale, we bow down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bowing down. And then this time we can stay. If you want, you can come onto your forearms if this is accessible for you. If not, maybe you want to plant those hands down out in front, sinking those hips down. Breathing into this stretch. Inhale. And close your eyes. Exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. Your next inhale, bring those hands back up underneath the shoulders. Tuck the back toes underneath. Press through those hands and then take that right leg all the way back, finding our downward dog, walking through the feet. Going through the other side, we inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale to bend the knee and open up that hip once again. Knee trying to point up towards the ceiling, stacking the hips. Inhaling here. Exhale as we start to bring that foot, that shin all the way through. Flex that left foot, planting it over towards that right hand side as you then place that shin down at any angle behind those wrists and drop the back knee down behind us. From here, we then come onto the fingertips, checking in, making sure your foot is flexed, pressing down into the mat. We inhale, lift the chest. As we exhale, we bow down, elbows out wide, chin towards the mat. Inhale, lifting back up. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, lifting. Breathing into this hip stretch. Exhale, forward fold. And this time we can stay, once again, either having those hands out in front, or you can come onto your forearms, or even just lifting that chest up. You can close your eyes and focus on sending the breath to that outer hip. Inhaling here and exhale. Your next inhale, start to walk those hands back underneath the shoulders. A little different this time, rolling onto the outside of that left hip to bring the legs all the way out in front of you. And then I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together, letting those knees fall apart. Now from here, you can either take a hold of the backs of the knees and start to lift that chest up and trying to find a little bit of this forward fold. Or if you want, you can either take a hold of the ankles or the feet, or maybe even the shins. And again, starting to pull ourselves down, finding a little bit of this forward fold, trying to get our chest down towards our feet. You can even use your forearms or your elbows or even your hands to just gently start to press those knees out towards the side as we do. Inhale here. Exhale, folding a little deeper. Those knees drawing out a little bit further. Nice long breaths, inhale and exhale. And then coming back up through center. Take a hold of the backs of the knees to bring them up towards the ceiling. Plant the feet out in front. hip distance apart, feet parallel with one another, and then just scooch the hips up towards the heels, and we're going to roll down onto our backs. Rolling all the way onto our backs, nice and slowly. Coming through into our bridge pose, make sure those knees keep pointing up towards the ceiling. We then press through the feet, lift the hips up nice and high towards the ceiling. Press through the heels, thinking about those hip bones have got headlights and they want to point all the way up towards the ceiling. You can even press into the backs of the arms, lift the hips a little higher. Breathing, closing the eyes if you want. Next, inhale, come up onto the toes, lift the heels. Exhale, roll down the spine. Nice and slowly. And once we get there, we're going to tick-tock those knees side to side. Releasing the lower back. Nice and slowly taking them from side to side. And then next time your knees pass through center, we'll let the left leg go out long, bring the right knee to the chest, give a little squeeze in. Inhale, and then as we exhale, guiding the knee over towards the left, finding that twist. You can have that left hand on top of that knee, encouraging it down towards the ground. And the right arm can go out towards the side, encouraging that shoulder to draw down towards the ground. So you're really feeling that twist through the spine. Again, closing the eyes, focus on just the stretch and sending the breath there. Inhale. As you exhale, release a little bit more into the twist. Your next inhale, you can roll back through center. Let that leg go out long as you bring the left knee into the chest. Once again, squeezing it in. Inhale, fill the body up. And then as you exhale, guiding it over towards the right. Letting that spine release. You can keep that hand on top of that knee, encouraging it down. The left arm can go out towards the side, encouraging that shoulder down towards the ground. And once again, breathing into this twist. Inhale. Exhale. Release a little bit more. Eyes can be closed. And then slowly on next inhale, come back through center. And then from here, finding our Shavasana, letting the legs go out long. They can go a little bit out wide to the corners of the mat, let the feet fall apart. Arms down by the sides, palms facing up. The back of the head pressing down into the mat. Eyes are closed. Inhale, breathe into the belly. Open the mouth, exhale, release. Feel the body a little bit heavier into the mat. And again, inhale. Filling the lungs up. Open the mouth, exhale. Releasing a little bit more. One more time. Big breath in this time. Inhale. Open the mouth. Let it all go. And then release the breath. Just stay with this. And slowly start to bring awareness back into the body, wiggling the fingers and toes, circling the wrists and the ankles, breathing nice and deeply, and then bringing the knees into the chest, rolling over onto your side. And just staying here for a second, eyes still closed, and slowly bringing yourself up, back to that nice comfortable seated position, cross-legged if that's okay. Eyes closed, bring the palms together at the chest, elbows out wide. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale it out. Namaste.